I'm going to make some darts in there. They're not really Viking, but when you have a bit of boob, it's nice to have a bit of shape. Don't know if that'll make the vlog. Hi everyone, it's Signe from Sign of Horses, straight from my home, because I'm going to take you along the journey of making this Viking tunic. I'm ready to go sewing now. Now there's a little bit lack of contrast as the tunic has pretty much the same color as my floor. But I hope you can see I've started to sew the darts in, the side darts, and that kind of finishes the skirt, what I like to call the skirt of the tunic at the bottom. Starts to give that a little bit of shape. What I still need to do, if this is the center back, then I want to open this one up so I can sew another dart in there. I'm laying the dart on the fabric so I can see just how far I need to cut. And because I folded the fabric when it came out of the washing machine, I have a nice center fold to follow. That's going to be pretty much a straight line. Straight enough for this. Just about there. The back dart is in, and I've also taken the liberty to sew the shoulder seams. So those are done as well. I'm going to try it on inside out. Lovely swoosh here. Swoosh. So I'm putting it on inside out so I can actually pin whatever I want to happen with it and not have to repin it before I sew it. Now, as you can see, the back sleeve seam gives enough give towards the front. That's what you have to look out for when you make clothing. You have to be able to move in it. As you can see here, the men probably won't have as much trouble with that as the women, but I need a little bit of a dart in here to make it sit more closely to the body. So I'm just going to pin that with 3 pins. That's 1. And that's 2. See how it gives it a little bit more shape? You can already see where the armpit diamond is going to sit. It's going to sit right in there. So I have to do the same on the other side, and preferably exactly the same instead of way more up or way more down. So that's always a challenge. I'm going to pin it by eye for now, and then as I take it off again, I'll put them side by side and compare if it's okay or not. Try not to pin in the underneath lying tunic, otherwise I won't get it off. Another one there. Armpit. Yep. Oh gosh, I love this color of fabric, and I think I'm going to love the deeper lying collar as well. Open neckline. Really nice change for my wardrobe. And I love it that it's open. I'm gonna decorate the hell out of this front seam. Don't know what the back is. I think the back is really nice now, by the way. I don't think I have to adjust anything. Can you see? Can you see for me? Do I need to adjust anything on the back? No, alright. I have to have a look in the mirror. Back to the sewing machine, which is downstairs. See? Down there. Here's a little sewing tip for you. When you pin something to temporarily hold the fabric in place, like for fittings and stuff like this, that I tend to pin it along the seam. But when I sew, I turn the pins around so I can sew over the pins and follow the seam like that. That's a lot easier. As you can imagine, when you pin something like this for a fitting, the pins will stick in your flesh. See if I can do this one-handedly. As you sew over them, as you can see, not a problem, and you can just take them out like that. It's time to figure out how to do the sleeves. As this project is going along, ideas keep popping up in my head, and as I go along, the shape starts to form in my mind of what I want it to look like in detail. I had the general thing in my mind, in my head already before I started, but now as I go along, I think, oh, this would be nice, that would be nice, it could go over there, it could go, you know, I could wear it over a dress or over a tunic, or so that's how I tend to work, is start with an idea and just go wherever it takes me. I see it as an art form. Remember these? These are my sleeve diamonds, to go my armpit diamonds. I love that word. And the sleeves I cut. What I want is to be able to fold up the sleeves, crumple them up like that, wear them like a shorter sleeve, wear them up slightly more. So my hand is going to be in there, and that's going to be my shoulder. And then I bought two lovely Ernest style brooches on my last Viking adventure at Doornenburg, and these will do great to hold the sleeves up like that. It's going to be a lovely little detail on the sleeves. But what I'm thinking now is to make the sleeve shorter, actually make it a short sleeve instead of a longer sleeve. Somewhere along the lines of there. Have this fabric pop out. Like so. I think that looks kind of nice. Sometimes I get so caught up in sewing, in making something, that I forget to flog in between. So I have actually one sleeve already half finished. The sleeve is completely finished. It just needs to be attached to the tunic. And good thing is I stopped in time to show you how I readjusted the sleeve. This is one I haven't finished yet. So I took that off and I replaced it with a same sized piece made from the lovely linen that I had lying around. And then the next step is to attach our diamond shape armpit thingies. So the sleeve will end up looking like this and attaching to the tunic right there. So it will be a sleeve like that, if you will. This one is progressed a little further because I started embroidering. So I turned it inside out. So we have the lighter fabric. It's going to be on the inside of the sleeve, and I'll still have to attach it because it's loose right here. This is the self edge of the fabric, which is a lot easier to work with. You don't have to do anything to it to keep it from fraying. So I will still have to do that, but I will, with a very delicate hand sewn stitch it to the inside of the sleeve so it doesn't pull out. There. I'm going to sew up this one, embroider it, so you can see how I did that stitch, but first I'm going to close this up. That will make it a lot easier to handle instead of pins sticking all over it. One of the hardest things to do in sewing a tunic or anything that goes on the top of your body is fitting the sleeve into the armhole. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe you find it really, really easy. I have times that it just goes in like, it just, goes in straight the way you want it, and other times I'm fidgeting around, and so that's my advice, to just pin it before you start sewing. Otherwise you'd be taking it out all the time. Wish me luck. Here goes. I think it worked. Yep. That is looking good. That is looking like a sleeve in a tunic. Good news is this one looks good. Bad news is I have to do another one. Exactly the same as this one. Wish me luck. Yes, it's beginning to look a lot like a tunic. I have cut the collar shape I want, and it looks a bit wide now because these have to double up like that. The next thing I have to do now is to finish the edge of this, and you could do that simply by folding it up twice and then hand sewing it along there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this exact shape out of another piece of linen and sew it onto here so it doubles up, and then you have a nice, we call it beleg in Dutch, I don't know what it's called in English, but a nice strip on the inside which will finish it off beautifully and also makes it sit a lot nicer on you. Not sure if the Vikings did stuff like that, but hey, it's 2018. I'm going to do this by making a quick pattern for the neckline. So I laid the piece on a piece of fabric. This is the center back line where I'm going to double up the actual fabric. Right there. And this is the front, so I'm going to just quickly mark those two places, and then it's very simple. We're going to draw along here to have that line. There is the line on the piece of paper, and I hope you can see. Sometimes it's very hard to get everything on camera. From there I'm going to take this down a couple of centimeters on both sides, and I could actually use a measuring tape for that. So I just at certain points mark 5 centimeters down from that line. And then with my exceptional drawing skills, I'm going to follow those marks, connect the dots. Still have some remnants left for a future project. Middle back. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. This piece, as you can see, this is the middle back again. It's going to fit right on there. I'm using the right side to the right side, so when I sew it and I turn it inside out, it will sit just like that. And then you'll have a beautiful outside edge and a lovely inside edge. Here it is on the hanger, so you can actually see the collar and the finishing like that. My plan is to decorate the front right here with some embroidery, and this way I can embroider it and then use the flap to cover the back side of the embroidery. So that's going to be the front. Still have to figure out what I'm going to do as a closure. And then like I said, I still have to sew the entire bottom edge of this thing, which is a nice jobby to do. I'll just steady as she goes. I'll just take it stitch by stitch, and whenever I feel like it and whenever I have time, I'll do a bit and it'll get done in the end. I think you'll have to see the end result and me wearing it on Instagram. Follow me there, and I'll probably be working on it for a while now, but I want to get this tutorial on YouTube so you can start making your own tunic or tunic coat thing like this. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, give it a little thumbs up and subscribe if you already haven't, and tell your friends to subscribe. Don't forget that, very important. Spread the word, spread the joy, spread the tunic making. And yes, most importantly, whatever you do, don't forget to release that inner Viking. I will see you next time. Bye.